Lent is here. Do you need some advice to have a good Lent? Let's listen to Saint Benedict. What's Saint Benedict's first piece of advice for a good Lent? Wash away in this holy season the negligences of other times. And how are we going to do it? During these days, therefore, we will add to the usual measure of our service, of our Christian life, of our monastic life, something by way of private prayer and abstinence from food or drink, so that each of us will have something above the assigned measure to offer God of His own will with the joy of the Holy Spirit. So first, we want to wash away negligences, and second, we want to have something to offer to God with the joy of the Holy Spirit. But what's the true goal of Lent? Why do we make sacrifices and try to pray more? Benedict says, to look forward to Holy Easter with joy and spiritual longing. We want to reawake our desire for God. It's this desire that is going to prepare us to celebrate Easter, and it's going to lead us during these 40 days. Do you remember the parable of the prodigal son? The younger son didn't even think about returning to his father's house till he felt hungry. Conversion often needs to begin with our stomach. We need to recognize that we need God, but this is very difficult when we are saturated with stuff. This is why we fast and give up all the little things during Lent. The older son in the parable also needed to discover the desires in his heart to be able to return to his father. He thought he was doing everything right, but he had turned his relationship with his father into a to-do list. Unfortunately, there are many who see religion in this way. In some way, the parable of the prodigal son remains open without a clear ending. We don't know if the older son understood the love of his father and was able to accept his brother. We also don't know if the younger son realized that what his father wanted to give him was much more than food and a roof over his head. We all have something of the older son and the younger son in the parable, and returning to our Father's house with our whole heart is going to take some work. I invite you today to pray with the parable of the prodigal son, keeping in mind Saint Benedict's advice. We can think, how have we neglected our Christian life? How have we squandered our Father's property? Have we tried to fill up our hunger with false satisfactions instead of returning to our Father's house? Or maybe we are like the older son, and we need to find something, add something to our service to our Father, so that we can rediscover the joy of being in His house. When I prayed with the parable, I realized that both sons were quite quick to tell their father what he had to do, but they seemed to have more trouble listening to him. Fasting, prayer, and almsgiving reawake our spiritual desire, and this allows us to listen to God in a new way. I love these words at the end of the parable. Son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. This is the love we are called to discover this Lent as we return with our whole heart to our Father's house. Then in Easter, we will be able to celebrate and rejoice because our brother Jesus was dead and has come to life, and we who were lost have been found. This is Sister Maria at Our Lady of the Angels Monastery, and here at the monastery we are praying for you. Thank you for watching.